Next, we're gonna talk about berries, and we're on page 132. Berries tend to be highly perishable, with the exception of cranberries, and are susceptible to bruising, molding, and over-ripening in a fairly short order. Inspect all berries and their packaging carefully before you accept them. Juice-stained cartons or juice leaking through the carton is a clear indication that the fruit has been mishandled or is old. Once berries begin to turn moldy, the entire batch goes very quickly. When fresh berries are out of season, IQF, which means individually cooked frozen, berries are often a perfectly fine substitute. Dried berries are a delicious addition to winter fruit compotes, stuffings, or baked goods. The following table covers the selection of berry varieties, so let's get into it. Blueberries, raspberries, cranberries, gooseberries, these are also known as ground cherries, strawberries, blackberries, currants. Obviously, these berries are delicious. They're very high demand all year long, but guess what? They do have a season. Most berries are available during the summer, late summer, they're the absolute best, but with companies like Driscoll, you can get berries all year long. Some of them are starting to taste good, so keep that in mind. That is gonna wrap it up. For the ones that are generally interested and wanna know some more details or my opinion on how to cook something, comment below and we will start the process. Let me help you. I'd be more than happy. Straight up, if you got value from this video, hit that like button, smash the subscribe, okay? Turn on the post notifications, you already know the drill, and share this with somebody that needs to see it. Thanks a lot, see you next week. Apples. Apples are perhaps America's favorite fruit. According to surveys from International Apple Institute, apples account for nearly 14% of all tree fruits sold in this country. Apples range in color from yellow to green to red and colors in between. Different varieties of apples have particular characteristics. Some are best eaten out of hand, others are considered best for pies and baking, and still others are selected for their ability to cook down into a rich, smooth puree for applesauce. For cider, a blend of apples is usually chosen to give the finished drink a full, well-balanced flavor. Select firm apples that have a smooth skin with no bruising. Though rough brown spots are acceptable, apples can be held in a climate-controlled cold storage for many months without significant loss of quality. Dried apples, prepared applesauce, apple juice, bottled or frozen concentrate, cider, spiced or plain pie fillings, and a host of other prepared items from apples can also be purchased. The flesh from many apples will begin to turn brown once they are cut open and come in contact with air. Dousing them in acidulated water with a little lemon juice will help prevent browning but may not be desirable if a pure apple taste is important. The following table covers a selection of apple varieties. So we're on 130. Basically, what I want to do is I just want to go over some of the varieties. Right next to that, there is a description of the taste, texture, and what they're used for. Very important, right? If you're going to go make an apple pie, you're not going to use a red delicious apple, okay? I know that as a chef. What I need to do is teach you that so you kind of have a general idea. So, Stayman Winesap apple, Macintosh apple, Northern Spy, Cortland, Honeycrisp, Cameo, Gala, Golden Delicious, Granny Smith, Macoun, Cox Orange Pippin or Pippin apple. Let's talk about some of these varieties. So we're on 131 and I'm just gonna hit a couple of them, okay? I'm gonna hit the most popular ones. So the Golden Delicious, yellowish greenish skin with freckling, crisp, juicy, sweet, stays white after cutting, longer than other varieties, eaten out of hand, and also all purpose. I would not use this one for a pie. Granny Smith, green skin, extremely crisp, fine textured white flesh, tart, stays white after cutting, longer than other varieties, eaten out of hand in sweet and savory preparations in pies. Okay, Granny Smith, very popular. I think this is one of the best for apple pies, applesauce, any type of cooked preparation. And the reason I say that is because you have the control of adding sugar. Next, we're gonna go down to Red Delicious. Red Delicious, bright red, speckly with yellow flesh. Flesh is yellow white, firm, sweet taste, eaten out of hand. Next is gonna be the Honeycrisp. These are one of my favorite apples. Yellow with good amount of red blush, very crisp, very sweet, eaten out of hand, all purpose. I love the Honeycrisp. It's probably my favorite apple because you can eat it straight up. It has the most flavorful apple flavor to me. There are a few other apples that are debatable that are better, but Honeycrisp is most readily available, so that's why I brought it up. Next, Cameo apple. Dull red, splotchy with some yellow and brown coloring. Sweet tart flavor and firm texture. All purpose as well, smaller, great texture, raw. we're gonna move on to the next section. Citrus fruits. Citrus fruits are characterized by extremely juicy, segmented flesh. The skins that contain aromatic oils, grapefruits, lemons, limes, oranges are the most common citrus fruit. They range dramatically in size, color, and flavor. Select citrus that is firm and heavy in relation to size and with no soft spots. Green hues or rough brown spots generally do not affect the flavor or texture of the fruit. For oranges, it is not necessary to select fruits with bright colored skins, as they often are dyed. When selecting grapefruits, lemons, and limes, on the other hand, look for brightly colored fruits with a finely textured skin. Citrus can be stored at room temperature for a short time, but should be refrigerated if being held for an extended period of time. Citrus juice is available canned, bottled, frozen, and as a frozen concentrate. The table that follows covers a selection of citrus varieties. Now, we're gonna go over this real quick. Pro tip here. I really stray away from cooking citrus. I used to make a lot of stuff with cooked citrus. Nowadays, I don't cook citrus. And I keep it fresh and bright because, especially living in California, we have the bounty of citrus here. It is absolutely delicious and it's so nice when it's fresh. Once you start to cook citrus, it changes the flavor profile. Now, obviously, there are some things that just make sense, right? Like citrus tart or citrus custard, or let's say if you're grilling a piece of fish, right? Like, and you want to put a piece of lemon on it, then yeah, I get it, totally get it. But anyway, we're gonna go over this. Okay, ugly fruit, tangerine, tangelo, blood orange, navel orange, white grapefruit, pink grapefruit, Persian lime, lemon, Meyer lemon. But if you want more detail, I would love to make a video just on citrus. I'm a big fan, so let me know in the comments and I'll do that. Moving on, we're going on to melons. Remember, if you have any questions or if you want a little bit more clarification, hit me in the comments and we'll go over it, or I'll just answer the questions. Melons, these succulent, fragrant fruits are members of the gourd family, as are squashes and cucumbers. They come in many varieties and range from the size of an orange to that of the watermelon. The two major categories of melons are the muskmelon and the watermelon. There are two kinds of muskmelons commonly available, the cantaloupe style and the honeydew type. Selecting melons will determine the ripening depends greatly on the type. When selecting the cantaloupe type muskmelons, look for heavy fruits with a full slip, that is, a clean break from the stem, signifying that the melon ripened on the vine. When ripe, all muskmelons should become slightly soft at the stem and give off a sweet scent. Muskmelons must be seeded before they are eaten. The mildly flavored watermelon varieties should be symmetrical. Avoid those with flat sides, soft spots, or damaged rinds. A ripe watermelon should have a good brown color without any white on the underside. Unripe melons should be stored in a cool, dark place. Ripe or cut melons should be kept under refrigeration. The following table covers a selection of melon varieties: honeydew melon, cantaloupe, Cavilion, seedless watermelon, and Santa Claus. So let's just talk about the cantaloupe and the honeydew. I think these are the most popular. Cantaloupe, beige netting or veining over the surface of the skin. Flesh is pale orange, smooth, juicy, very sweet and fragrant. Eaten out of hand, served with cured meats and cheeses in chilled fruit soups. Honeydew, somewhat oval, honeydew type muskmelon, creamy green rind, smooth skin, pastel green, juicy flesh, very sweet. Eaten out of hand in chilled fruit soups as a garnish or dessert. Next is going to be the watermelon, right? I'm just gonna honorable mention this. Ranges from large oblong shape to small round shape. Skin is green with lighter stripes. Rind is white. Watery flesh ranges from red pink to yellow to white. Shiny black, brown, or white seeds. Some varieties are seedless, sweet and refreshing. Eaten out of hand, rind is pickled. If you haven't had pickled watermelon rind, you're missing out. All right, sit tight. We have a few more fruits. Okay, pears. This fruit comes in many varieties, ranging from round to bell-shaped, spicy to sweet, and yellow to red. Unlike many other fruits, pears ripen after they are picked. When pears are not fully ripened, they can have granules in the flesh known as stone cells, which give them an unpleasant sandy or gritty texture. This is a positive characteristic because ripe pears are extremely fragile and otherwise would not ship well. When choosing pears, look for fruit that is mature and aromatic, with no scuffing or bruising, pits, or shriveling in the skin or neck. Keep unripe pears at room temperature, but refrigerate them once they are ripe because of the colder temperatures will inhibit the ripening process. Like apples, cut pears turn brown once they are exposed to the air. Storing them in acidulated water will help prevent browning, but may alter the true flavor of the pear. The best uses for several varieties are given the following table. As a chef, I never store pears or apples in lemon water, ever, or citric acid. don't ever do it. You want the pear's natural flavor, especially if you're cooking that pear, you don't have to worry about it. If you're cooking that apple, you don't have to worry about it. Just move faster. And also, if you're using it for a fresh preparation, what I recommend is go in the moment. There's different ways you can achieve this. Obviously, if you're doing a brunoise knife cut, then it's gonna be a little bit tricky. What I recommend is altering the dish so you can use something like a mandolin with teeth and shave it into the salad or whatever the case may be. So there are a couple of varieties of pears we'll talk about. Bosc, Red Bartlett, D'Anjou, Secco, Forelli, Asian, and Bartlett. Now, Bartlett and Bosc are the most popular, but they range. Just like with apples, some are meant good for eating right out of hand. Others are meant for cooking. My favorite pear to cook is gonna be the Bosc pear. And the reason I say that is because, man, that thing holds up. You could cook it forever and it takes forever to break down. The one right after that would be the Bartlett. I love using the Bartlett for cooked preparations, but also when they turn super yellow, they are really great to eat out of hand. Other fruits, we're just gonna do some identification so you know what it is. I'm not gonna go into too much of the description. We're on page 144, check it out. Pineapple, coconut, mango, rhubarb, avocado, papaya, kiwi, bananas, plantain. Some other honorable mentions are gonna be figs and guava. I wanna talk about these fruits in their definition so you kind of have an idea, but let's talk about the avocado. So yes, this is considered a fruit. I know it's crazy, but believe it or not, there's a Filipino dessert that is absolutely amazing with condensed milk and crushed ice. Beautiful. So avocados, pear-shaped, green to black, leathery skin, smooth or bumpy, yellowish green, creamy, butter, flesh, mild flavor. Common culinary uses, you already know this, from guacamole, in salads, dips, salsas, on sandwiches. We all know what bananas are. I want to talk about plantains because I think this is important. So you can't really eat plantains raw, so keep that in mind. Large, starchier relative of the common banana. Hard, green peel when unripe, yellow to molted, almost black when ripe. Flesh is potato-like flesh when unripe. Becomes increasingly sweet and soft as it ripens. Rhubarb, one of my favorites. Long red stalks, tinged with green, leaves are poisonous. Crisp texture, softens when cooked. Sour tart flavor. Coconut, round, hard, brown. Hairy husk, firm, creamy, white meat. That sounded so weird, but this is a PG channel, okay? Thin, watery liquid in the center. Processed into coconut oil, coconut milk, dry packaged, sweetened or unsweetened, shredded or flaked. Figs, small, round or bell-shaped, soft, thin skin, ranges from purple to black, light to green, tiny edible seeds, extremely sweet. Most common varieties are Mission, and also I love the Turkish figs. Pineapple, large cylinder, rough, diamond patterned yellow skin, long sword-like leaves sprout from the top. Available fresh, frozen, canned, candied, dried. Commonly available varieties have extremely fragrant, juicy, and sweet, bright yellow flesh. Eaten out of hand, grilled, juiced, and baked goods. A few other fruits that I'm just gonna mention: star fruit, pomegranate, passion fruit, persimmon, quince. Google them. There's also a description and common culinary uses in the PDF. That is gonna wrap it up. For the ones that are generally interested and wanna know some more details or my opinion on how to cook something, comment below and we will start the process. Let me help you. I'd be more than happy. Straight up. If you got value from this video, hit that like button, smash the subscribe, okay? Turn on the post notifications. You already know the drill, and share this with somebody that needs to see it. Thanks a lot. See you next week.